Okay, let's try connecting a web page using MQTT. So, first of all, I'm going to need a library, and I am working with this address here. So this is from Eclipse. This is their PAHO MQTT library. Um, so there's a download I can use. This looks like it here. So I can get that library. This is the unminified version, so wget and that library. Okay, that's good, and let's make up a web page. So index.html. Okay, I want to use that library, so import the library script source equals /script, and that is what's it called? PAHO MQTT.js. So insert that, and I think I'm just going to write my JavaScript directly into the HTML page. Okay, I don't need much in my HTML. I'm just going to have a single node, and I'll give it an ID so I can find it later. So this is going to be my message list. Okay, that should be a close there. And let's start writing some JavaScript. First thing I do, and here I am just kind of working from the example, the code they've got here. So this example code, create a client instant. I'm just taking code out of that. So var client equals, and that's new PAHO. Okay, here's something. So in the sample code here, they say new PAHO MQTT, and then later on in that page, they say breaking change. You can't see the bottom of the page here. There's a breaking change here, and it's saying that the namespace has actually changed. Who'd have thought? So MQTT client, and in here I put in a whole bunch of parameters. I have the broker, which is broker.hivemq.com. That's the public broker. The port is 8000, and the client ID. If you leave out the client ID, usually you get away with it. I very often put in a random value here. You get a problem if you have two clients with the same ID. And so if I have another client in the same page, it's also called Andrew, that will cause problems. Okay, so well, let's see if that works. Write that out and reload. Okay. Oh no, sorry, that's just a line break that I've got from previous attempts. That seemed to work okay. All right, so we created a client. Now we can specify, now we can connect that client. So client.connect. All right, so that's the function to connect that client. So we create a client and then we connect. And let's reload, and this time let's watch the network. Okay, so reload. Okay, can you see what's going on here? This is my MQTT connection. All right, so these are normal HTTP requests, but this one here, this is a WS connection. You see that's WS : : whereas these are HTTP connections. So this is a WebSocket connection. And you can see all the messages that go through. So here's a message coming through. That's just the connect message. Don't really know what it says, what it means, but that connect message, that's typical. That's the first thing that comes through. Okay, so we can pass some parameters into this, into the connection. One handy one is reconnect. And I'll say reconnect is true. That means if the connection dies, then it'll just try and reopen it. I can also say on success. So this is the function that kicks off when the connection has happened. And the thing that I want to do when that's happened, when the connection is made, the first thing I want to do is subscribe. So mqtt.subscribe. And I think in here I put in the topic. So I'm going to use the same topic I used previously, 603. So this is a public browser. Anyone can, public broker. Anyone can send any messages. So presumably at any given time there are lots of messages going through. I'm connecting. I'm using this message in the hope that no one else in the world is using that same message. Okay, let's try that and reload, see what's going on. That looks good. So MQTT, I've got a message there. I'm not seeing the subscribe message going in, but perhaps we can send a message. So let's send a message using Mosquito. Andrew is here, and hopefully a new message showed up. Not seeing it. There's MQTT. Should have picked up a message. I did the subscribe, I think. Maybe I didn't write that out. Looks like I did. On success, MQTT subscribe. Nah, never mind. Let's look at the next stage. So if I do, so that's client connect is that. Let's say client dot on message arrived equals, so this is a new function, and this time the function has a parameter, and that parameter should be the contents of the message. Let's console.log whatever that message was. Let's see if we are working now. So that's my page. Where's the debug? Here's the debug. Let's reload and see if something shows up on the console line. So down here, I'm expecting something to show up on the console line if I reload. No, not if I reload. If I reload and I send a message. So let's send a message. Oh, didn't work. What am I doing wrong? Looks like I've got two MQTT things happening here. That's not right. So there's one and there's another. So why have I got two MQTT connections? That creates that. Let's take out reconnect equals true for the moment. Let's see if this is kicking off. Console.log connected. Let's try that and reload. Yep, it's saying connected. Is it saying connected once or twice? It's saying connected once. Okay. So that's subscribe. MQTT subscribe. That's client.subscribe. You'd have thought I'd have got an error message for that. Reload. Okay, it says connected. Here's my message list. Let's try and send a message. So the message came through. Oh, here we go. Message came all the way through and it got printed out on the command line just like I expected. Excellent. Okay, so this line here is kicking off. All right, let's do something on the web page when that happens. So when a message arrives, I am going to find that node. So document.get element by ID. I don't know why, but I have decided to try and avoid using jQuery. So I'm using raw HTML to change the page, which is just painful. So that finds my my node, and I'm going to, I think it's append child, and then document.create element. Let's create an li element. Okay, that should do. So find the message list object and append an li element to it. Okay, let's just forget the debug and we'll just look at this web page now. So reload that and let's send a message. So from a different computer now, I'm sending a message. Andrew is here. Oh, and there's my li node showing up. Hello world. And another li element shows up. Okay, that's great. Everything's working. Let's try and be more explicit. So let's make up an li node equals, so this thing here, create element, and let's put inside that dot append child document dot create text node, and the text node will be message dot is it payload message. I'm just checking the notes here. It's not payload message. It's something like message as string. Payload string. Message dot payload string. Okay, and we're not going to put that one in. We're going to put in that node I just created. So I created an li node and I'm adding it to my document. Write that. And let's reload this and try and send some more messages. So hello world. Excellent. I say excellent, has got the dot by it. Something went wrong. Append child document create text node. So, no, I'm still writing in jQuery. That should be li dot append child. Okay, and reload. Send that message again. That's it. Hello world. And Andrew is here. Okay, so the important thing is we've got a web page and that is responding to messages. It's just sitting there subscribing. That subscriber is listening for messages on a particular channel. When a message shows up, then something happens in the web page. That's the essence of what we can do with MQTT in JavaScript using the WebSockets library.